بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. I believe this video is a guide to a person who has just visited us in our website and he does not know what to do with all these courses that we offer. And some people asked for this actually, so they said we want to know how to study in Madrasah when we see all these courses offered in the website or on the website, and also because some people come and they join, it's their first course in the Madrasah. I think they should have done something else, but they just join, for instance, Sharh al-Sunnah lil-Barbahari. It's like the first thing that they join, and it's not a live dars or anything. It's like it has already been recorded, and you have other alternatives, but you choose this. The way we study al-ilm, the way we teach al-ilm, it grants people freedom, and this is actually the way we chose to teach al-ilm. This is the traditional way. A student goes and he chooses or she chooses the mashayikh and the durus, the lessons, but there is always the guidance of the mashayikh. Yani, I can give you some guidance, and it's up to you whether to follow this or to do something else if you know what you are doing. Even if you do not know what you are doing, it's definitely up to you what you are doing. It's a free country. It's just very important to note that this is even this type of al-majalis, it's called al-majalis al-hurra in Arabic. So it's free majalis, like you are free to do whatever you want. Not in the majlis, I mean to choose this and to sit in and study it, and if you are qualified you'll be able to benefit from this majlis, and if you are not, it will be just a waste of time. I have the website in front of me, and I clicked on courses, and I have categories here. So fiqh, we have 5 courses, aqidah, a lot of courses. Let's see. What is the first thing that you should join in every category, in every discipline? When you go to al-fiqh, it does not make sense that you will just want to study the specific qualities of the Prophet ﷺ as the first thing, especially if you have never been exposed to al-fiqh before or the Hanbali fiqh before. I understand that this is your desire, maybe this is something that you need, but you will have to understand that this is not the most beneficial way of studying al-ilm with us. What do we recommend? We do not recommend anything but Bidayat al-Abid as the first step. And if you have some experience with al-ilm, you can skip Bidayat al-Abid and you join Umdat al-Talib. If you join both, it's fine. Actually, it's very good if you join both. Al-fiqh needs to be studied every day. This gives you a lot of material to study, and it takes some time until you finish everything. If you listen to one dars every day, it will take you some time until you finish these durus. Yeah, you can join both Bidayat al-Abid and Umdat al-Talib. What I recommend is Bidayat al-Abid then Umdat al-Talib. However, you can join Umdat al-Talib if you feel that you have some experience or you've studied the Hanbali fiqh before, even if it's not the most perfect way of studying it. Al-Manhaj al-Ahmad, however, is for a student who is interested in understanding how we deal with the misconceptions on the Hanbali madhab. This is not the priority. I'm talking about a person who is studying for the very first time. Let's talk about priorities. I'm not telling you do not go and study this. What are the priorities? The first step of studying with us. I know that there are specific needs. That's why I have my email. People email me and we schedule like appointments so that we sit together and discuss your plan of studying al-ilm. I think you will find this somewhere. I'm not sure. It can be found maybe on the website. Maybe they will add it on the website. We will figure something out. However, the first step in al-fiqh has to be either Bidayat al-Abid, Umdat al-Talib, or both. Yeah. In al-Aqidah, you have Usul al-Sunnah al-Imam Ahmad. This should not be the first step. Take something before it. Take Lum'at al-I'tiqad. And it has even to the extent that we offered it in French. And if you speak French or you prefer studying in French, take لمعة الاعتقاد. This is a must. If you want أصول السنة, it's fine, but it means that if taking أصول السنة means that you've already finished لمعة الاعتقاد. Even if you have not finished it with us, you've finished it somewhere. This is the first step, لمعة الاعتقاد. If you take لمعة الاعتقاد, navigate the section of العقيدة any way you want. We usually recommend the rest of Ibn Qudama's curriculum. So you search for the rest of Ibn Qudama's books and you take them. And the order is ذم التأويل after لمعة الاعتقاد, then الصراط المستقيم, then تحريم النظر. This is what we suggest. When we see in the section of العقائد something like, طبعا after taking لمعة الاعتقاد, I prefer that you take حاشية الموفق first before taking ذم التأويل. حاشية الموفق, the course on حاشية الموفق itself, before ذم التأويل. I'm not talking about the most important books. I'm talking about how you navigate the courses we have on our website. I have other books that the most important book in this list, for instance, is تحريم النظر, but it cannot be taken unless you finish لمعة الاعتقاد and probably حاشية الموفق, and preferably you finish Ibn Qudama's curriculum according to the order I have mentioned. In this section you'll find something like فضل علم السلف على علم الخلف. This is very important. You can take this anytime, yeah, and it is categorized as Aqidah, which is fine, but it is actually a very important book on the methodology of dealing with all these disciplines that we study and how to manage al-ilm as a student of knowledge. Then we have this part or section of Mustalah al-Hadith and Hadith. طيب. You should not begin with something like بحر الدم, for instance, or the choices of al-Hanabila in علوم الحديث, unless you've already finished important books in علوم الحديث. We start with التذكرة في علوم الحديث. This is the priority. In al-Hadith itself, you start with Al-Arba'in al-Nawawi, and I do not mind if you want to start with the Thulathiyat of Musnad al-Imam Ahmad. Yeah, I think it will be really beneficial if you open the website and see with me the things that I'm talking about. After finishing التذكرة, after finishing التذكرة, you can navigate the rest of the courses that we offer in علوم الحديث in any way. There is always a preferable way. I can tell you what the preferable way is, but it depends on your level and depends on other aspects. I'm talking about the most important thing that you cannot miss. If you start with anything else but التذكرة, you are not seeking the most benefit. You're not making the best use of your time and your efforts. Then there is أصول التفسير and its مقدمة أصول التفسير, Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah. This requires a person who actually studied a lot of علوم الحديث, not a lot of علوم الحديث relatively, يعني like 2 books in علوم الحديث. If a person studied with us النخبة, نخبة الفكر, and the تذكرة, and we offered them in one course, 2 installments or something like this, if I remember correctly, I think this is a very good beginning. And if you have a good understanding of the subject, just continue and take مقدمة أصول التفسير, but it will be difficult. Then we have literature, شرح ديوان المتنبي. Anyone take this anytime, absolutely beneficial, something that we need people to actually study. But if it's your first time of studying with us, begin with al-fiqh wal-aqeedah first, yeah. And then we have al-adab or al-adab, and al-adab here does not mean literature, it means manners, protocols. I want everyone who's listening to this video, anyone whom you know, just spread my word. I want everyone to study this at the very beginning of your journey, please. What is this? Do not go for مختصر الإفادات. It was done in 2 parts and it's long. Let's do this later. Yes? Wait for مختصر الإفادات. I want you to study a shorter course. تذكرة السامع والمتكلم. I want you to do part 2 first, then part 3, then part 1. Part 3 is still some. Right now I'm still teaching part 3. Yeah, you will join us in a live dars. Join parts 2 and 3 together. This will be beneficial. And then take part 1 after that. This is the priority. Actually, you invest your time in this course before even investing it in al-aqaid and al-fiqh. تذكرة السامع والمتكلم part 2 first, and it talks about the protocols that the sheikh has to follow. So it teaches you how to find a good sheikh. Part 3, how to become a good student. These are things that you will never be able. If you are the most knowledgeable person in your opinion, you will never be able to tell how lacking you are in these things. Part 2, part 3, then part 1. Then مختصر الإفادات. Whenever you see that this subject is really important, you believe that this subject is really important, and you have time to study more of it, then take مختصر الإفادات any moment you realize the importance of the topic while having enough time. Yeah. Then we go to التصوف. I do not recommend that you start with any course that you choose in Tasawwuf, especially that it's a very sensitive topic. You just come and choose Sifat al-Murid, for instance, the first thing. No, even though the name invites you to study it, no, do not study Sifat al-Murid first. Study al-Wasiyya and any course that is called Guiding Principles. So we have part 1 and 2. Study these and study al-Wasiyya first. Also, so we have actually 4 courses, in my opinion. 4 courses that can be studied at the very beginning of your journey. Yeah. Al-Wasiyya by Shaykh al-Islam al-Muwaffaq, Guiding Principles of Tasawwuf, and these are the statements of Sidi Abdul Qadir himself. We collected them and we gave them in 2 courses. And Miftah Tariq al-Awliya. The order is Al-Wasiyya and the Guiding Principles at the same time, then Miftah Tariq al-Awliya. Then navigate the courses of Tasawwuf any way you want. We have this section of refutation. Do not come near it unless you have been a Wahhabi for a long time and you are considering studying with us. And I can't tell a Wahhabi who is repenting now and following the way of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah to start with al-fiqh wal-i'tiqad and that's it, or to start with al-fiqh wal-i'tiqad wal-adab, or even before al-fiqh wal-i'tiqad al-adab. He wouldn't listen to al-adab unless he attends one of maybe some of these courses in a certain order. Ibn Rajab's refutation, it's offered in Arabic and English, yeah, of those who do not follow the 4 madhab, yeah, and the refutation of al-Safarini to those who view following books of al-fiqh impermissible or an innovation. You start with al-Safarini first, and then you take the refutation of Ibn Rajab. This is the order that I always recommend. Yeah, As-Sawa'iq al-Ilahiyya, this is a long course, but I find it very beneficial. Naqd al-Nawaqid is a short course and it's very beneficial, and it uncovers the problems of Ibn Abdul Wahhab himself. This is the section of refutation. Then you have the foundations of the Hanbali madhab, and one course has been offered in French, the introduction to the Hanbali madhab, offered in French and in English, and the book, the foundational principles itself. So what is the order? The introduction first and then the foundational principles. The introduction to the Hanbali madhab could be the first course that you take with us, could be, but I do not recommend this. To make the best use of your time and resources, wait until you study the course of Al-Adab, and then you start studying Al-Fiqh, and you start studying Al-Aqidah. After a couple of durus in the durus of Al-Fiqh wal-Aqidah, start taking the introduction to the Hanbali madhab. You study all of them at the same time. It's fine if you do it this way. If you start with it, it's not harmful. I wouldn't prevent it. I'm just telling you I'm telling you about a better way of doing this. When it comes to As-Sirah, you can postpone As-Sirah. You can postpone As-Sirah until you finish the more important things. I believe there are other courses like Al-Insaf and other courses, but they are more of like very advanced courses, and other things that have not been mentioned here. I think they will put them later or so. But this is like a general overview of how to benefit from our madrasa. I think this will be put on the website itself, besides putting it on YouTube, and I think people will find this hopefully inshallah beneficial. It gives you an idea of how to navigate our website and to benefit from our courses. And I think if you do not find this sufficient for any reason, my email is actually y.sadiq@al-Madrasah al-Hanbaliyya. But al-Madrasah al-Hanbaliyya, the spelling of al-Madrasah al-Hanbaliyya is complicated, it's the same spelling of the website actually, if you can figure it out, .com. And email me. We will schedule an appointment, and we will be able to meet virtually and discuss a plan to study al-ilm. I do this whenever I have time, so please do not feel that I have ignored you, abandoned you, if I do not respond immediately after receiving your email. I think this is whatever I wanted to say about the website. والله تعالى أعلى وأعلم. وصلي اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.